Well, what's up guys? This is Daniel from Arms Family Homestead, and today I'm out in the garden. I know this is kind of sad, and I'm dealing with it as best I can, but Houston's gone to school. My helper's gone. But that's not all negative, because as much as I love having that boy out here in the garden, here lately when it's been 100 degrees and just way too hot, we have not spent much time down here. I know that, we've neglected it, and I'm gonna show you around here and show you that we're gonna do some cleanup today. But since Houston's not here, that means I don't have to spend all my time fishing with him. Not complaining about that, because you guys know I love fishing. But it's just been so hot and miserable lately. Actually, the last week or so, it's kind of cooled off a little bit. It actually kind of feels a little bit like fall. And we've had several rains come through. The okra that I've been complaining about all summer not producing, well, guess what? It just has exploded and is full of okra. But you guys know that I like to keep my okra a little more well manicured than this. So I'm gonna get this cleaned up. Houston's corn patch over here, look at it. It's not real tall, but it's a corn patch. He's pretty excited about that. But the main goal today is to get in the high tunnel in here and really do some cleaning up, because guys, it's like third week of August and I need some fall greens going. My wife and I do a lot of juicing. We juice a lot of greens, and I need to get this thing filled up with greens so we have things like spinach and kale and bok choy and all those greens that we juice in the wintertime can make it through in this high tunnel. So we got to get this thing switched over, get out of that summer gear and get into that fall winter gear. It doesn't matter how hard you look on those tomato plants. There's always a few of these guys, the dreaded tomato hornworm. There are always a few of them you can't find. I'm pulling out old dead tomato plants and they're just falling off the ground. Sneaky little devils. Check it out. Got my little Korean sickle. It's called a N-A-H-T, Nat, I'm not sure. I'm trying it out on some garlic chives here that need to be thinned up, trimmed back. Thing works like a champ, sharp as a razor. So I am by no means a neat freak, clean freak, one of those kind of people at all, but it sure is nice when you come in here and tear out all that old stuff and start with a blank slate, clean canvas. Just in maybe an hour's worth of work, I've done a lot out here, so it's looking good, looking good. So it's getting a little hot in the greenhouse. I'm gonna come out here and work on this okra before it gets too hot outside. But the main thing with okra, even though it's hot, I'm gonna wear gloves and a long sleeve shirt, because this stuff will itch. It'll make your skin itch for hours. And that's one of the reasons I like to keep it trimmed up and keep it under control, so when I get out here to harvest, I don't have to reach through all those leaves. And I really feel like reducing that amount of leaf clutter, the leaf canopy on these big okra plants, makes them put more energy into producing flowers and fruit. So they really do well. I don't try to cram my okra close together, spread it out, and then keep it trimmed up. with a long sleeve shirt and gloves. So here's what I'm talking about when I say I trim them heavily. I prune these things so where I can get in here and get to my okra without having to mess with all the leaves. I still leave leaves at the top and a few on the different stems and branches and things, so it's not just completely bare, obviously, but it's so much easier to harvest than when it looks like this, because I can't even get into the okra here. Can't even see the okra on there half the time. You miss them, you end up coming out. Okra's got to be picked very, very frequently. I mean, within every day or 2 days. And if you miss a few, they get huge and they're no good quickly. So trim your okra up, prune it up. It's not gonna hurt it. It'll make it grow really well, I promise. So one of my main goals for this fall, other than, you know, cleaning up the weeds out here and maybe getting a little bit of corn off of this corn I got from Bumblebee Junction, one of my main goals is to get the chickens in the garden. I've got the permanent fence from Premier One now that I can move around and kind of section off areas for the chickens. So I think it shouldn't be too difficult to get set up to where I can at least rotate my chickens around different areas of the garden. And eventually, when the restrictions run out on my NRCS high tunnel, I'll be able to house the chickens in here, because right now I'm still under the restrictions. The high tunnel was on a NRCS grant. Can't necessarily use the high tunnel for housing livestock. Last year I kind of got away with running a couple chickens on the raised beds, but using them for soil amendment. I was using those to add fertilizer, not really a chicken coop per se. So chickens in the garden and eventually chickens in the high tunnel are a goal. Hopefully we'll get on that one pretty soon. So one question I get pretty frequently from subscriber land is, how in the world do I keep Houston, who's a 6-year-old little boy, interested in gardening? You guys have watched him grow. He's been a huge part of this channel for close to 3 years now. And the easiest thing I can say, the best tip I probably have to keep your kids interested in gardening, first off, start them young. Start them young. Get these little ones interested in growing their own food when they're little. But the main thing is you've got to make it fun for them. It has to be something they enjoy doing, and I don't necessarily enjoy getting out here when it's 100 degrees and pulling weeds out of the garden. So Houston almost never comes out here during the heat of the day to pull weeds and do these mundane chores that aren't a lot of fun. I really make sure I get Houston out here when we're planting seeds and watering and letting those little seedlings grow, because you can see such a tremendous difference in just a few days. And then he loves harvesting, so I get him out here when whatever it is we're harvesting, whether it's peppers or onions or watermelons. You know, he can watch those watermelons grow and then come harvest it, take it in the house and eat it. And when you get those kids involved like that in the things that are fun, I know this stuff out here turns into a lot of work. Trust me, building these raised beds, keeping them maintained and keeping the weeds out of them is a lot of work. That's not for a kid necessarily. Now, as they get a little older, their chores can progress, but you've got to keep it fun, exciting, and make them look forward to doing those things, and you'll keep your kids in the garden, I promise. So anyways, guys, that's all I've got for today. I'm gonna get in the house and get cleaned up. My wife's out there mowing. You can probably hear the lawnmower in the background. Got a lot done in here, got a lot done out there, so time to go find something else to do while it's hot. Maybe go edit a video or something. So anyways, guys, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you look forward to seeing what we have coming in the fall garden inside the high tunnel in here. So we'll get on that pretty quick, I hope. Guys, y'all have a great day. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next video.